Hey there, welcome back to Twin Oaks Farm Poultry. So glad that you're joining us here on YouTube. Thank you so much. This is the final episode in the series Happy Birthday Chickies, where we have followed a flock from hatch to harvest. So we're showing you the products that we got from raising a flock of Cornish Rock Cross meat chickens. We're finishing up getting this meat into the freezers. We've had the birds to a USDA inspected processor for processing into poultry, and we're able to get that now into our freezers. And it's fun to see the products that come from raising these chickens. And then this flock was unique as well, because usually when we take birds to the processor, we only have Cornish Rock Cross meat birds going, but we also had some year-old egg-laying hens that we took this time too. Some were heritage breed Orpingtons, and some were dual-purpose breed Rhode Island Reds. So it's a good opportunity to see those two finished products side by side. So we want to take a look at the meat that we get from raising chickens. So of course these come from Cornish Rock Cross meat chickens, and super popular way to have them processed is cut up chicken. And so in this case, this is a whole bird that's already cut up into 8 pieces and packaged that way. So Cornish Rock Cross meat chickens tend to finish out 75% of their live weight. So meaning that that packaged up 4-pound as a whole bird, when it before it went to the processor, was probably about a 5.5-pound bird. And then on the other hand, something that processed out a finished weight like this one is about 5.48 pounds. It was over 7 pounds live weight as a bird. So here is a very economical way and very popular way to have the chicken processed. It's just a whole chicken, and it's packaged up as a whole chicken. So at 4.1 pound at finish weight as a live bird, that was about a 5.5-pound bird too. Anywhere between 5 1/3 and 5.5 pounds will finish out right around 4 pounds for you. And if you keep the birds longer, we grow ours out over 6 weeks. So if you keep them longer, like to 8 weeks, they're going to tend to be closer to like that 8-pound range. So some other products that you can get from chicken are boneless, skinless chicken breast and boneless, skinless chicken thighs. If you don't want the thighs boneless, skinless, a popular way to get them is bone in and skin on, and that's what these are. And then also drumsticks. And so drumsticks and thighs tend to be packaged in 4s. Chicken breast tends to be packaged in packs of 2. And so having seen the drumsticks and thighs, this is a very, very popular chicken meat product. So these are chicken patties, and generally the way you get chicken patties is you take the dark meat pieces like the thighs and the drumsticks, and the processor debones those and then grinds up that meat, and it can be seasoned. And so these are about 1-pound packages, 3 pieces in a pack, and seasoned with the salt and pepper seasoning. So those are really, really tasty. So that's how we get those. And so finally, we have a comparison here. These stewing hens were from year-old egg-laying hens. So this would have been from an Orpington hen, and this would have been from a Rhode Island Red hen. So dual-purpose breeds and heritage breeds tend to finish out 65% of their live weight, meaning that like this one that was 4.06 finish weight was probably about a 6.25-pound bird, maybe maybe 7 pounds, because they were fed as egg layers. They weren't really fed as meat birds. And then 3.33 pound was probably about a 5-pound live weight bird. That's probably pretty accurate, but you can see the difference here in the breast meat in right here in the front in the finished Cornish Rock Cross meat bird compared to the stewing chicken. But the stewing hen, she does have really nice drumsticks there and really nice chicken wings, and will be great like in a slow cooker and even for making broth. So those are all great products that you can get from raising chickens. The Cornish Rock Cross meat chicken is a very efficient meat bird, and we say flock to fork in 8 weeks because we raise them in 6 weeks, and then we take them to a processor, and the processor may take anywhere from a week or 2 getting the meat processed and frozen and getting it back to us. So it's a good practice to work with a USDA inspected processor if you're wanting an alternative to processing it yourself. As I've said, this is the most economical way to have it processed because there's basically one flat fee per bird for slaughtering and processing and packaging the whole chicken, and then anything you add, like cutting it up or getting particular cuts or deboning cuts or grinding up the meat, all of that just adds to the finished price of your processing. So keep that in mind if you're not processing yourself and if you use a processor. And the number one thing to keep in mind if you're using a processor is to schedule your processing date way ahead of time for that. So those are our tips for going from flock to fork, flock to freezer, flock to finish, however you want to say it, in about 8 weeks for producing your own chicken. And we appreciate you joining us here at Twin Oaks Farm Poultry. Please subscribe to our channel on YouTube and please join us again. Thanks so much.